Continuing with our series on avoiding unhealthy things people do every day, we have 5 more in this video we're going to go over. And the first is swimming in chlorinated pools. Now, chlorine is a necessary evil in pools because without it there will be tons of bacteria and viruses, but there's an alternative that I'll tell you about. But the reason it's so bad is because it gets absorbed into your skin so quickly that, to give you an example, years ago I knew a guy who tested chlorine in tap water. And he showed me a test of the water right out of the faucet, and at the time it was considered unhealthy to swim in, amazingly enough. But then what he did is he took another glass of water from the same faucet and he put his finger in it for about 5 seconds and then tested it again, and there was no more chlorine in it. And that's because it absorbed right into his skin and into his bloodstream, where when that happens to us it becomes a free radical, and what those do is cause oxidation and aging, and it kills your gut bacteria and a series of other physical and mental issues. It's also toxic for your lungs to breathe this in, and in fact most Olympic swimmers have asthma because of this, as they're always in indoor pools training and breathing it in as it evaporates and goes into the air. And there are even stories of swimmers being taken away in an ambulance at poorly ventilated indoor pools. A 2011 study shows that swimmers have detectable levels of a potentially dangerous chlorine byproduct called haloacetic acid, or HAAs, in their urine within 30 minutes of a swim. These are linked to birth defects and cancer, and it's a skin irritant as well as an eye irritant. Now you may remember having bloodshot red eyes after swimming when you were younger for a long time. Now, chlorine is linked to several types of cancer, and even dental enamel can be eroded because of increased levels of acidity from the chlorine, and of course, digestive issues. People who wear contact lenses are even more vulnerable to chlorine and organisms that get trapped between the surface of their eyes and the lens. So the alternative is not bromine, as many people think, as this is actually worse, and the EPA has this labeled as a carcinogenic, as it's poisonous to our body. Now, the alternative is swimming in the ocean or in a saltwater pool, and that's all I'll swim in. And I also use the shower filter on my shower to take the chlorine out of the water when I'm showering or bathing in it. And we talk about that in another video. Now, like many other toxins in our body, to keep our organs safe, what your body will do naturally is store toxins like this in your fat. So if you're having problems losing weight, this could be a cause. I also have a free webinar on the toxins linked below that cause this, and how to eliminate them using herbs. Now, the next thing to avoid is using alcohol-based hand cleaners. These are the typical antibacterial soaps I see people using all day, and the main problem is that they create antibiotic resistance. They also lower your resistance to diseases by killing good bacteria that protect you against the bad, since they get in your bloodstream. They also have a lot of alcohol in them, some having as much as 95%, that even though it's rare, you can get alcohol poisoning from them. Now, this is especially dangerous for kids whose parents put it on them, who then can put their hands in their mouth. And many of these hand cleaners also contain triclosan in them, which can lead to hormone disruption. They're also loaded with other toxic chemicals like phthalates, which additionally build up in your system from so many other things that we use, like straws or your shower curtain, and many other places that I also talk about, and how to remove them in the free webinar link below. Now, the alternative to this is simple soap and water, and washing your hands as often as possible, and avoid touching your face, as this is the #1 cause of people getting sick. The next thing to avoid is brushing your teeth right after eating. This is because after eating, the pH is changed in your mouth towards acidic, and when you brush right after you're eating, you're brushing those acids right into your teeth. So for about 30 minutes after eating, there is this acidic pH in your mouth, and brushing during this window has been shown to erode the enamel on your teeth, as it pushes the acid into them, and also erodes the dentin, which is the layer below the enamel. Now, this especially goes for acidic foods such as sodas, sugars, or processed foods, and also if you have acid reflux or if you happen to vomit. So never brush after those times. There is also enzymes in your mouth and your saliva that help to break down and digest your food, and if you brush at this time, you're offsetting the balance in your teeth, so don't do that too soon. It's best to wait 30 minutes before brushing after you eat, and the best solution here is, if you don't want to wait, is to just rinse with water. Now, I have a whole series on the best oral practices and hacks for teeth and gums, and it offers you everything from brushing and whitening, and what I prefer to do over flossing, and many other aspects of health and different systems of your body in my instruction manual for the Human Body Seminar linked below. Now, the next thing to avoid is wearing shoes in your house. One study found that 421,000 different bacteria were found on your shoes. Also, bacteria from feces were detected on the bottom of 96% of shoes. E. coli was detected on 27% of shoes. And it's kind of obvious because we walk through things like bird poop and dog pee and poop and germs on public restroom floors, all of which are sources of E. coli. And then we track them into our home floors. This is especially dangerous for children crawling or playing on the floor. And if you were wondering, research found that 90 to 95% of this bacteria are transferred to our floor at home. Now, also toxins like pesticides from the lawn or other gardens we walk in are also tracked into the house. So the solution is simple: to wash your shoes whenever possible, but it's best to just leave them at the door. Now, linked below, I have a free webinar about specific toxins that cause you to gain weight, as mentioned, and they also make you feel sick or maybe depressed. And most people ingest these every day, and I show you how to eliminate them with herbs. So if you can't lose weight or are sick a lot, this could be an answer for you. Now, in the next one of this series, we're going to talk about 5 more unhealthy things to avoid specifically related to your cell phone. So links for more information can be found below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos like this related to mind, body, and spirit. Good luck.